In 1999, we get a fantastic car-driven game, Paths of Glory, but Ted as Racer from GMT Games. 9 years later, we get a sequel, Pursuit of Glory, again GMT Games, but this time the authors were Brad and Brian Stock. Another 9 years later, in 2017, we got Illusion of Glory, which brings this system to yet a new level and the new theater. This game was designed by Perry R. Silverman. Today we are going to talk about Illusion of Glory, the Great War on the Eastern Front. What kind of material it will be, I prepared unboxing and overview video, so the video in which we will look at the components. And honestly guys, already at the onset I will say we look also at the errata components for this game. We will look at the game mechanics, how does it differ from the previous 2 games in the system, and maybe some interesting information, additional interesting information. First of all, this is a heavy sturdy box by GMT Games. This is not a deep box, I believe this is 2 inches. At the back you will see the components of the game, the map, the armies, the cards. You will see that the solitary suitability is like medium, but I believe that with the newest GMT Games card-driven games solitary system, it's much more accessible nowadays and much easier to play solitaire. Let's see what is inside. I will be many times referring to previous 2 titles because this game really takes a lot from the Paths of Glory and from the Pursuit of Glory. First of all, let us have a look at the rulebook. We have 2 die, by the way, and immediate plus for this game and a winner is that the rulebook is not glossy. You will be able to read it even during the evening, even with the artificial light. Yeah, so I really like it. The rulebook contains not only the rules, but also the playbook, so extended example of play, some short game scenarios, strategy tips, card information, plus acknowledgements and bibliography. When you look inside, you will see that it follows the similar path as the previous rulebooks, explaining the terminology, explaining the colors of the factions, and the main game mechanics. There will be some uprising units, just like they were in the Pursuit of Glory. We have mandatory offensive, we have strategy cards, what we do in the action phase, movements, unit stacking. The combat will have a lot of information here, because this is one of the more complicated parts of the game, although the game is not super complicated, let's be honest. And we have strategic redeployment, reinforcement, supply attrition, replacement, and war status. Then you would have advanced rules, which are added later on, like regions, like trenches, like forts, which you will need to conquer, flank attacks, which will help you to crush enemy before they can do anything, assembling and disassembling LCUs, rebellion, revolution, troop quality, which will have a big impact in the game, sea invasions, very risky, but can give a lot of advantage, neutral and minor countries and how they will be entering the game. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And the playbook then starts with the information about the cards, about example of play, which you can see here. Yeah, short game scenarios and then strategy tips. Everything in one book. Then what we'll get whoever was fighting on the Eastern Front, because guys, this game focuses purely on the Eastern Front. We have 3 sheets of counters. Okay, 3 of them fall somewhere into the box. We'll find them later. And what I would like to draw your attention to is that we have more counters on the Eastern Front that we had in the original game, so in the Paths of Glory, because the corps are on the low, let's say it's on a lower level. So we had armies in the Paths of Glory. In Illusion of Glory, the big counters are corps. Yeah, counters. So we have these are the Russians, these are the Germans, some Bulgarians, Serbians, French even, Austro-Hungary, Romanians. On the other side, you would have the weekend type of a unit. Here we have a lot of Italian ones, the trenches and the usual, counters which you will find in each and every game from the system, like replacement points, turn, VPs. You will have move and attack markers. You will have a control markers. You will have out of supply, and that somebody retreated. So if you attack them again, it will have a big consequences on them. National will and troop quality, something important in this game. War status, because of the war status, the both sides can be so wary that they will finish the game due to armistice. Or if you jump from mobilization to limited war, from limited war to total war, you will get some new cool cards. The last tray, you would have a smaller units, yeah, which get into the play once you attack and destroy the larger corps. Here we'll have also the uprising units in Austro-Hungary and in Germany. You remember at the end of the war, the collapse of Germany was mainly due to the attrition, economical hardship, and simply war weariness by the whole nation. Here these are the control markers for the Ottoman forces and for Bulgaria. Also, this is Serbia and Romania. So a little more counters than in the base game, definitely more than in the Pursuit of Glory, because we are getting one level down. Then we will have the setup, the mobilization setup, and how to start the game, combat sequence chart, and allied powers, when they will be entering the game. So Italians, for example, when they enter the game, where they will set up. Then we have player aids, 2 of them. Sequence of play, replacement, cost temple, summer, turn 1 restrictions. Usually in this game, the games in this system, the 1914 summer has some restrictions. How we are getting the victory points and who is winning and when. Very important tables for fire, light fire table, or firing units are those small ones, or the heavy fire with larger tokens, and of course, as always, the terrain effect. Here we have a Brusilov offensive scenario, special setup, special rules, special setup, and here we have mobilization, so the initial one, and here we have a Brusilov offensive. Okay, let me take something to open the cards, because I would like to show them to you too. You should not be surprised when I tell you that all the cards are split in 2 decks, Central Powers deck and Ally deck, that with a card will be able to play the event, play the operational points, or maybe play the strategic redeployment points, or maybe do the replacements. As you can see, they will come from various phases of the war. Mobilization, limited war, and total war. The cards for mobilization are available from the beginning of the game, then the rest of the cards come. We already have this enhancement, which we already seen in the Pursuit of Glory. You can see the cards which have event and ops together to be played, or the ones which are the combat cards. So if you have them like this, you don't need to read here, but already see a reminder for that. So this is the deck for the allies. Also split. You see the Italian entry, very important card. And here we start already allied deck, yeah, for the Total War. Romania entry, Greece entry. What I like about this is that you all not only have a nice cards, beautiful, you know, depiction, but also the history behind it. And I really suggest you guys read the history behind, because those cards are bringing a lot of information. Oh, Hindenburg and Ludendorff in command. You should know it from the full game, so from the Paths of Glory. Really nicely done cards. Pity they have some errors and they have to be, you know, corrected. Limited war, and then during the Total War you would have some heavy stuff like 5 operations and the Falkenhayn Summit. So they give a lot of possibilities and can crush the enemy. In this game, you know, there are huge forces on both sides. It's thanks to the different scale than the Paths of Glory, you have a lot of flexibility when moving the units, and not so closed options like in the Western Front. I told you that before we show the map, I told you that you would need, unfortunately, the upgrade pack or errata pack, the one actually done by the GMT Games, covers some of the cards which have errors, the rulebook, which was rewritten and corrected. Unfortunately, it's a bit glossy, and also the player aids. You can see second edition. The mobilization setup, there were errors, yeah, in the setup. The Brucey of offensive, there were also errors in the setup. So if you'd like to play this game, make sure you get this errata pack, so you are not get, you know, only then you will get the full fun from playing this game. And this is a good game. This is really good game. It gives a lot of fun. Just let us make sure, you know, that this is nicely produced and with best quality components. Let me show you now the map. This is a big map, and this is rather tall map because it shows the, you know, Eastern Front. Let us open it. So slightly different approach than what we had in the Paths of Glory of depicting the situation. There will be more hexes. So as you can see, this is a tall map. It starts at the bottom with Greece. Here we have turn record track. Here we have the map key. Eliminated units. We have a close-up on the Italian front, Isonzo River, and all those battles which were taking part here, back and forth. Excuse me. Then we go to the north. We see the Belgrade and we see the Serbia. Here is Romania, and here we are getting the Poland and Russia, yeah, and here the German Empire. And you can see that there is slightly more, I would say, point-to-point areas, which allows you for the much more detailed play, yeah. And this is exactly what this game is trying to achieve, to be a little more detailed than the Paths of Glory. At the top we have general records track, where you have the quality of the troops, victory points, resource points, and so on. Here we have made it offensive roles, Central Powers Reserve Box, Allied Powers Reserve Box, as well as replaceable units. Yeah, so the map looks very familiar to what we get in the base version of the Paths of Glory. I believe in Pursuit of Glory it was already slightly differently done, with a slightly different touch of a color. Here it's definitely come back to the basics, to the classical view. And that's all for today. My idea was to present to you guys Illusion of Glory, another installment in a great series of the games. Paths of Glory, Pursuit of Glory, Illusion of Glory. This time we are taking a very close look at the Eastern Front during the First World War. This is a card-driven game. This follows very successful system. It requires errata to be fully playable, but once you apply it, it's really fun to play. Yeah, simply fun to play, and I hope that you will have as much fun with this as I had playing that. That's all for today. This was a quick unboxing and overview video. I just wanted to bring to you this case so you can understand how it plays, what it's all about, and what components we have inside. If you like this video, do not hesitate, give a thumbs up. If you like to see more content like this, kindly please subscribe. That's all for today, and you can check out on my channel other materials regarding Illusion of Glory, Pursuit of Glory, or Paths of Glory. They will be also in the description below the video. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for watching.